Today in this video with Kaz Radash, we're going to show you 35 AI SEO tips with proof they actually work that will make your SEO competition cry. Why should you care? Because it's helped me rank #1 for really hard keywords, it's helped me land DR90 backlinks for free, and it's helped me generate millions of dollars with SEO. And I'm giving away all 35 tips plus my personal recipes and prompts for free, which you'll get access to at the end of this video. Let's go. So method #1, you can actually create your own free keyword research tools using Claude. So for example, you see this prompt right here, which you'll get access to at the end of this video. You can paste this into Claude for free, completely free tool. Just put in your niche right here. So customize this to whatever niche you're in. And then with this prompt, you can generate your own keyword research tools, like for example, this one. And then you can generate keywords for whatever sort of topical cluster you want to go after. Now, the other cool thing about this is that you can actually publish these as well. So this is tip #2. And you can publish these artifacts, share them with your team, or share them with clients if you want to give more value to your clients. And these can even index on Google. So for example, if we type in claude.site onto Google, which is where these tools are hosted, you can see that a bunch of these, since this new feature has been released where you can publish artifacts, is available, and these are ranking on Google. Pretty crazy.
So tip number 3, all I have done is I've just went over to Google Keywords Planner and I've just plugged in my keyword at the top, and then it's come back with 890 results. I've then exported this to Google Sheet, and what I'm going to do for this example is I'm just going to copy over the top 50, head over to Claude and paste that in. Now, the prompt that I have used is group these keywords together and tell me which semantically relevant pages I need for my website. And then we're going to wait until Claude does its thing. So as you can see here, we actually do have core SEO services, so SEO agency, best SEO companies, website SEO cost, local SEO services, small business SEO, SEO for small companies, dental SEO, on-page SEO, e-commerce SEO, white label, link building, backlink agency, and so on and so forth.
Now, another way to create your own free tools is using websim.ai. And this is completely free, generates whole websites using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, as you can see right here. And with this, you can basically create your own internet. For example, if we use a similar prompt to the one we created before with the coffee keyword generator, you can actually go and create these sort of tools using a prompt like this, for example. So create a keyword tool and preview it. And then you can generate your own keywords and basically create your own websites using this process. Now, one of the craziest things about this is that actually on WebSim AI, people are building their own websites with custom prompts using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and it's completely free. Like, I don't know who's paying for it, but it's absolutely crazy. The other thing, and this is tip #5, is that websim.ai actually ranks for keywords. So when you generate these sort of tools and you build them using websim.ai, you can see that a lot of these tools are actually ranking for relevant keywords on Google. Now, I'm not going to click, for example, Kanye sucking toes, but what you can see right here is it's ranking #2 for that keyword using the tool that's been generated via websim.ai. Same with Claude Playground right there. It's ranking right here. And it's absolutely crazy what you can do with this. Tip #6, you don't necessarily need to build your own website to rank on Google and get traffic. So, for example, if you check out this video, which I actually published yesterday on YouTube, you can see that this was only published 16 hours ago, but it's already ranking for 4 keywords and generating 79 traffic. And then you can target specific keywords in your titles. So, for example, Claude Poe Perplexity inside the title of this video, and it ranks and generates traffic within 16 hours for free on YouTube.
So tip #7, what I've done is I've just searched roofing contractor in Manchester. You can do this with any keyword. And I've just opened up the top 3 ranking pages. And this is what I do to get a killer intro for my actual web pages. So what I'll do is I will copy all of the intros. Now, the intro is probably the most important part for any article, because what a lot of people do is they will only just scroll past, let's say, the first 25% of a web page, and then they will either decide if they want to inquire with you. That's the case for local SEO anyway. So if we can make our intros really good, then that is going to improve our conversion rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Claude and say,
And by the way, you'll get all the prompts from today for free at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching.
So this is the prompts that I have used. Read these free intros and create semantically high converting intro for my website. Then I've just done intro 1, intro 2, and intro 3. My company is called Cadra and Julian Roofing. We have 20 years experience. This is the actual intro. It's come back. With over 20 years of experience, Cadra and Julian Roofing stands as the premier roofing specialist in Greater Manchester and North Cheshire. Our family-run business combines decades of expertise with commitment to quality, ensuring that every roofing meets the highest standards of craftsmanship and durability. Now, what I would do just underneath that is I'll add in a big, colorful call to action, and you will always get a really high converting landing page for your local business sites.
Tip number 8, you can actually take a prompt like this one, for example, and get knowledge to pre-train your article when you're generating it with AI. So for example, Perplexity and all these other tools can hallucinate sometimes. So what you can do is you can take a prompt like this one, and then you can plug it into Perplexity, customize it to your article. So for example, the best SEO speakers, and then get a list of the names of people or entities you want to include in your content. And then from there, if we hit enter, what it's going to do is generate the knowledge base for our article so that it doesn't hallucinate as much when we create the actual content. Now, from here, and this is tip number 9, we can actually generate the content with Claude using this prompt right here and the knowledge that we generated from Perplexity and take that into Claude, like for example, right here. We can plug that into Claude. So we've got the knowledge that was generated with Perplexity, and then we've got the prompt with the customized keyword we were talking about before. So you can just tailor the keyword to the content you're creating, and then we can hit enter from here. Now, what it's going to do is prioritize the knowledge that it's been trained on to create the content, and it's going to create something that's actually 10 times better than your average ChatGPT fluff. So you can see, for example, if you read this actual article right here, it's just a lot more interesting and engaging than typical AI SEO tool. Now, what you can even do from here is you can add an extra line, and this is tip number 10. You can insert a source context into your AI content and say, for example, write it as Julian Goldie, and you can customize this for whatever brand. And you can say for Julian Goldie's blog, juliangoldie.co.uk, and it's a list for whatever, right? And this source context is going to differentiate your content when it's generated. So it's a lot more personalized to your brand, and therefore it's different from all the other ChatGPT fluff and tools that everyone else is using.
Using the alphabet soup method, give me keywords/articles that I need to include on my website for lawyers for, and then I've just said replace the star with the drop-down recommendations. And this will essentially find a load of low, easy to rank for keywords. In some cases, it can be a little bit more difficult. For example, lawyers for personal injury is obviously a very difficult one, but you can find some really good gems in here. And basically what we're going to be doing is we've got different categories as well. So like practice areas. So you've got like lawyers for personal injury, family law, estate planning, and you've got specific legal issues. So lawyers for divorce, lawyers for child custody, lawyers for bankruptcy, car accidents, DUI, etc., etc. So the list is very long when you use that prompt.
Tip number 12, if you're going to use AI on your website, then make sure that you're building backlinks consistently to your site as well. So for example, if you look at perplexity.ai, the reason that they've grown from literally like 500,000 traffic to 2.61 million in the space of like 12 months is because their domain rating is so high. Now, obviously, they're a big brand, people recognize them, but that also plays into getting backlinks. And so if you're going to use AI to generate content, which is great, and I've shown you good quality ways to do it, make sure you are truly building backlinks to your website, which brings me on to tip number 13. If you're using AI day to day in your workflows, in your content, if you're giving it to your team, etc., I would recommend sharing it actively on Twitter, for example, other social media channels. And the reason for that is it can attract a lot of backlinks to your site, which is then going to play into ranking it. So, for example, if you look at my Twitter profile, I'm posting every single day about the ways I use ChatGPT, and that generates a lot of attention, which means that I can generate backlinks like this, for example. And if you scroll through this article, you see that this is a DR94 backlink from Forbes that actually mentions me inside the content and links to one of my sites. Why is that? It's because I'm sharing exactly how I'm using AI to generate traffic. And obviously, there's a lot of people interested in it. Tip number 14. So, when you're generating content, you also want to make sure that you're not just generating content for your website, but you're also diversifying your traffic because you never know when a Google update can come along and wipe out your site's traffic. So, what you can do is you can take, for example, a video transcript or a piece of content, and you can use a prompt like this. For example, based on this, create a short email to get people to click on my video, and you could change that to tweet, you could change it to LinkedIn post, you could change it to a Facebook group post, etc. And I would recommend using the style of someone that you respect and like the tonality of, for example, like Alex Hormozy. And then you can see in literally one sentence, using this one single prompt, it generates a really nicely written email with a subject line in the space of 2 minutes that actually reads better than something I could write personally.
Google Bars just quit on the.
Yeah, I would stick to Claude, mate. You just can't beat it.
I think that's the best one.
100%. Tip number 15 to use Claude. We'll include that one. You're on tip number 16 now.
So tip number 16. Laughing at tip number 15, mate. Tip number 15, use Claude.
Don't let Google Bard let you down.
So tip number 16, I have just used Claude to generate a calculator. And basically the prompt that I've used is I want to create a mortgage calculator and I want to preview it. And these are some of the questions that I've included. So you need to ask me the following questions: home price, down payment, loan term, interest rate. And then I've also added in a call to action to my contact us page. And if we just click preview button, as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is basically ready to actually be embedded on your website. So if we actually just fill in some of the details, as you can see, that is our monthly repayment. So that's just a simple way of acquiring backlinks as well through to your website.
Tip number 17. If you're selling a service or you're in a highly competitive niche, what I'd recommend is actually going for location specific keywords. So, for example, if I type in something like best SEO agency, obviously it's going to be really difficult to rank for that keyword. There's going to be a lot of competition and everyone's trying to go for it. What you can actually do is if you go to matching terms right here, and then we'll filter down to keyword 10 or less, so keyword difficulty 10 or less, what you can actually do is find location specific keywords in different areas around the world where you can still make money ranking for that keyword, but there's way less competition. For example, this keyword right here, best SEO agency in Dubai. We have a lot of good clients from Dubai, and it's really easy to rank for that keyword, but most people are not going for it. And so if you make your keywords location specific, you can just rank 10 times easier. Tip number 18, you can actually go to aistudio.google.com and you can generate free API keys for AI tools directly inside here. And you can use Gemini 1.5 Pro, for example, using its free API key. So if we go to get API key right here, we can generate a free API key, and then we can plug that into any tools that we create. You can even sync it directly with Google Sheets. Tip number 19. What you can do is when you're creating these tools, for example, on like ChatGPT, you can create custom GPTs, and all you need to do is you would go to your profile over here, My GPTs, create a GPT, and then you can create your own custom made tools that you can come back to anytime you need them. Now, on top of that, what you can also do is these can rank directly on Google. So, for example, when I published this custom GPT, which you can see right here, my free keyword clustering tool, you can see that it's actually ranking for multiple keywords and generating traffic on Google, and it funnels traffic to my sales pages directly on that tool. Pretty powerful and easy to do, and it's free.
So tip number 20, what I like to do when I am looking for keywords that my competitors have that I don't have is I go to the content gap section, I'll plug in my website down here, and I'll plug in 3 of my competitors. And as you can see here, it basically shows you which keywords that you are missing. You can also look at a different intersect. So what I mean by that is you can only look at keywords that all 3 of the websites are ranking for that you aren't. So for example, we've got 4,923 keywords that our competitors are ranking for. Tip number 21, what I would actually do is export this and go over to Claude and get it to group some of the keywords, because what you will typically find is best online casinos and best online casinos, plural and non-plural, that will just need one page for it, so you can actually group those pages together. That's the one issue you do have with the content gap. It's not grouping the keywords together. And then tip number 22, you can also go over to the link intersect section and do the exact same thing. So as you can see here, we can actually do an intersect section of free, and we can go down and see which links our competitors have and that we don't have. So for example, Business Insider, we can actually then do a little bit of outreach and get some links from there as well.
Tip number 23. What you can actually do is use tools like Make.com for free to automate a lot of the processes that you normally do. So for example, let's say it's something like meta titles. What you can do is you can log into Make.com and you will get a free number of operations per month. So you can see, for example, I don't pay for this tool. I get 1,000 free operations per month. And then inside the scenario section right here, you can actually build your own tools, as you can see I've done previously, which I can then come back to and run anytime I need to. Tip number 24. When you're generating content with AI, you want to make sure that you're creating content for the user and also the algorithm, right? So semantically, what you can do when you're creating content is you can analyze the best entities to include AK related names using this prompt right here, which you'll get access to at the end. And using this, we can plug it into ChatGPT and find the best entities related to our topic that we want to rank for. So for example, let's say our topic is SEO speakers. We want to analyze the top 5 search results for our keyword, which is best SEO speakers. We can then summarize the entities they commonly use and use that to integrate within our content so that when it's writing the content, it includes the most relevant entities to our topic so that when it's crawled by Google, for example, it finds the most relevant topics contextually.
So tip number 25, what you typically find with bigger websites is that they do a lot of tiered link building. And what I mean by that is if you actually go into the backlink section of a big website, and if you sort by referring domains, this actually shows the number of links that is pointing through to this page, which then ultimately points through to your actual money site or your own website. And as you can see, this is gambling.com, do very well in the gambling industry. They earn millions every single month. And as you can see here, they all have a load of tiered links. Now, if you actually look at a local website, this is a website that does okay. It doesn't do as many tiered links. There's maybe a couple here and there. There's a few 301s, but if we actually take a look here, they've got some like really high DR guest posts that they've actually been featured in, and they actually haven't built any tiered links through to those. So what I would be looking to do is sort by your highest DR links and then get some tier 2 links pointing through to your guest posts.
Tip number 26, you can actually use Perplexity to find external sources for your content, especially if you're doing like academic references, right? So for example, if we click on Perplexity, which is free to access, and then we'll click on focus, we'll go to academic. And then from here, we're going to hit pro because we get 5 pro searches per day. We'll use this prompt right here. You can see there's researching the content, and then it's found relevant sources, as you can see right here. So we've put in the prompt, give me relevant external references for my article about is coffee healthy? And then you can see that it's found a bunch of relevant sources that we could link to. And these are like relevant academic sources written by actual professionals and peer-reviewed topics that we could link to from our article. And this is particularly useful for YMYL content. Next up, tip number 27. We're going to use this prompt right here to generate relevant keywords for our cluster about lawyers 4. Now you can replace this with whatever you want, but essentially if we hit enter, it finds a bunch of keywords using the Google alphabet soup method. So for example, lawyers for A, it's got lawyers for adoption, lawyers for accidents at work, lawyers for B, and it finds lawyers for bankruptcy, lawyers for business, and lawyers for birth injuries.
Tip number 28, if you go into Ahrefs, plug in your actual website at the top and then click on positions decline. So we're actually filtering by the declining keywords. And if we actually look at one of these keywords, so I'm going to just pick out Moonspin Casino. And as you can see here, we actually have lost a little bit of traffic. And as you can see, there has been a major change on that page. And if we take a look here, what the website owner here done is they actually changed their page title from Moonspin Casino No Deposit Bonus to Moonspin Casino Promo Code. And that is when the drop actually happened. There's a direct correlation between the actual keyword ranking and the keyword not ranking anymore. So if you have lost any traffic, this is a really good little bonus tip. Tip number 29, you can actually do the counter opposite of that as well. So if your page has jumped up in rankings, you can actually see what caused the actual ranking. So if we actually take a look here, this page wasn't ranking for anything on the 11th of March, 2024, and it started ranking for just over 118 keywords. And if we actually see what was actually changed, so this actually looks like the page was initially created. So you can actually spy on your competitors with this as well and see when they're creating pages, when they're also potentially making changes. There's also all of the actual timeline as well. So Thursday, 2nd of May, they made a big change as well. The darker the green means that the bigger the change. So as you can see here, they added in a lot of brands and they've also removed some brands as well. So they've added in some of these brands, but they've also removed some of these also.
Tip number 30, you can actually generate really nice images for YouTube or any other social media using AI as well. So for example, if we look at some of my most popular videos ever, you can see that this one right here, that got 120,000 views, is an image generated with AI and it got a really high click-through rate. So what you can actually do is you can take a prompt like this one, for example, and we can plug that directly into ChatGPT, as you can see, and it generates a really attention-grabbing image that we could potentially use as a thumbnail or an image for our website. I would highly recommend not including text inside your content when you're doing this, but you can see how easy it is to generate free AI images using this prompt right here.
Tip number 31, this is how I like to structure my keywords. It's basically a funneled process. So if I want to rank for best running shoes, what I also like to do is cover the topic in its entirety. So what I would be doing is creating articles on best places to run, how to train for a marathon, how to run longer, but then I'll also have supporting articles. So for example, in this silo for how to train for a marathon, I would also be specifying what to eat before a marathon, what vitamins to take before a marathon, how long is a marathon. Same goes with like best places to run. I would create pages for running spots in Barcelona, Madrid, Mallorca, etc., etc. And that will essentially build up your topical authority for best running shoes.
Tip number 32, you can actually use tools like Perplexity to fact check your content. So if we switch to Pro right here, and then we're going to change to Academic, and you can manually check the statistics or opinions that you have inside your article to make sure that AI hasn't hallucinated. So for example, if we take this opinion right here, cats cannot eat bananas, that potentially you were trying to insert into your article, and we'll click fact check this with Pro Mode and Academic set up. We'll hit enter. So you see it's doing the research and it reviews the claim, as you can see right here. So this is a claim, cats cannot eat bananas. And then it says, after reviewing the provided search results, the claim that cats cannot eat bananas is not accurate. And finally, we have a massive issue settled.
So tip number 33, this is what NerdWallet's topic clusters look like. I didn't create this, but basically NerdWallet, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's one of the affiliate sites that didn't get hit, but this is how they're actually structuring their website. So if we take a look, we've obviously got the topic that they're talking about. So investing, credit cards, personal finance, mortgages, etc. They then have top of the funnel keywords. They then have middle of the funnel keywords. And then they also have bottom of the funnel keywords here. And if we actually take a look, this is the mortgages page that's ranking in Canada. And as you can see, so for example, they've got the bottom of the funnel keywords, which is best 5-year fixed mortgage rates. And bottom of the funnel basically means that they are people that are ready to purchase a mortgage right now. Somebody has actually searched that and they are ready to just click your affiliate links or actually purchase your product or your service. Then we have got middle of the funnel. So middle of the funnel could be, for example, calculators, comparisons. So somebody that might be searching fixed rate mortgage versus variable rate mortgage, that is deemed as a middle of the funnel article. And then we've got top of the funnel articles. And top of the funnel articles, they're not really high ROI, but we actually need to still publish those articles for Google to then understand that we are a topical authority. So, for example, how to avoid buying into a doomed condo project. That's not really got anything to do with mortgages, but you can obviously specify that it can definitely be harder to get a mortgage on a doomed condo project. You've also got certain articles like how much mortgage can I get with 40,000 salary? Again, that might never turn into an actual paying client for your mortgage affiliate, but it's still good to actually have some of these articles on your website.
Tip number 34, you can actually reverse engineer your competitor sitemap and then build a topical map around that. So for example, if we use this prompt, take my competitor sitemap and separate it into relevant categories for a topical sitemap, we can take our competitor sitemap and we'll just go to sitemap.xml on our competitor's website. We'll grab all the URLs, so we'll plug that into Claude and we'll hit enter. And what this will do is generate a sitemap based on our competitors, and we'll get around 5 to 10 pages per category. Now, I would recommend using Claude at this point simply because it can handle more data and it typically sticks to the instructions you give it. I've tested this with other relevant AI tools, but they're just not as good. And then you can see what it does is it breaks down the category. So, for example, bird watching and equipment, and then it'll give us the relevant pages to insert underneath each category. And it's basically automated a topical map for our competitor's website. And the final tip, number 35, what I would highly recommend when you're creating content with AI is just add the finishing touches with a quality checklist, like you can see right here. You get access to it inside the free course. Check the link in the comments and description. And everything that we've talked about today, you will get access to for free, including all the prompts, tips, SOPs, and I'll turn this transcript into a step-by-step process. But essentially, using this quality checklist, you can make sure that you're not just pumping out random spam that's going to get de-indexed in 6 months. All right. Cheers, Kazura. Intense session.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye. So thanks so much for watching. What I've actually done is broken down all of the tips and templates and prompts, as you can see right here, all 35 of them, directly into an SOP that you can copy and steal directly from me. If you want to get free, instant access to that, what you can do is check out my free course. Links in the comments and description. If you go to SEO systems, and bear in mind, this comes with like 80 different tutorials on SEO. But if you open up this section right here called 35 AI SEO tips, then you will find the SOP, my friends, inside the description right there. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. And by the way, if you want to get all of this customized and personalized to your business, then feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session where we'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors per month and generate thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And this free link building acceleration session is going to give you a free SEO domination plan. You'll discover the secrets of link building. We'll answer any questions that you have one-to-one on a call, as well as building a free SEO game plan. And you don't have to pay some fancy SEO expert thousands of dollars. You can just get it for free directly on this call. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.